Hi guys, welcome back to Coffee and a Good Book. I'm Miss Coffee, and today we are reading another book with a very powerful message and absolutely stunning illustrations. It is called It Feels Good to Be Yourself, a book about gender identity by Teresa Thorne and illustrated by Noah Gringini. And I think this book has a fabulous message for all of us, as well as just stunning illustrations and really just beautiful color. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. This is Ruthie. She's a transgender girl. That means when she was born, everyone thought she was a boy until she grew a little older, old enough to tell everyone that she's actually a girl. Girl is Ruthie's gender identity. This is Ruthie's brother Xavier. Xavier is a cisgender boy. That means when Xavier was born, everyone thought he was a boy, and as he grew older, it turned out everyone was right. He is a boy. Boy is Xavier's gender identity. There are so many different ways to be a boy or a girl, too many to fit in a book. But not everyone feels like either a boy or a girl. Non-binary is a helpful word that can describe a kid who doesn't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. This is Ruthie's friend Alex. Alex is both a boy and a girl. When Alex was born, everyone thought Alex was a girl, but Alex is both boy and girl. This is Alex's gender identity. This is Alex's friend JJ. JJ is neither a boy nor a girl. Ever since JJ was very little, they never felt exactly like a boy or girl. They just felt like themselves. This is JJ's gender identity. Alex and JJ are both non-binary. Just like there are many different ways to be a boy or girl, there are many different ways to be non-binary. Too many to fit in a book. Some kids feel like girls. Some kids feel like boys. Some kids feel a little bit like both, part boy, part girl. Some kids don't feel exactly like a boy or a girl. They feel like neither. Some kids feel that their gender identity isn't always the same. It's often changing. And even with all these possible ways to be, some kids don't feel any of these words fit them exactly right. There are never-ending number of ways to be yourself in the world. Whether you feel like a boy, a girl, both, or neither, or if you describe yourself another way, that is your gender identity. Your gender identity might match what people thought you were when you were born, or it might not. See, when you were born, you couldn't tell people what you were or how you felt. They looked at you and made a guess. Maybe they got it right, maybe they got it wrong. What a baby's body looks like when they're born can be a clue to what a baby's gender will be, but not always. When people guess wrong, it's okay to let them know. Ruthie was 5 when she told her parents, "I know you think I'm a boy, but I really feel like a girl." Oops, Ruthie was a girl all along. They just didn't know it at first. Excuse me. When people guess right, it's also okay to let them know. Xavier was 3.5 when he told his family, "I'm a boy. I like being a boy." You might feel like a boy. You might feel like a girl. You might feel like both boy and girl, or like neither. You might feel like your gender changes from day to day or from year to year. You might feel that none of these words describe you perfectly. You might not be sure yet. Maybe you're still figuring it out. Your feelings about your gender are real. Listen to your heart. No matter what your gender identity is, you are okay exactly the way you are, and you are loved. It feels good to be yourself, doesn't it? And that's the end of our story. I absolutely love this book because it does give us that beautiful message of be yourself no matter what, because you're gonna be loved no matter what. It's okay if you are what they called cisgender, meaning you identify as what people thought you were when you were born. So I am a cisgender because I was born being called a female, and I am a female, I'm a girl. But it's okay if you are what they call transgender, where if you were born being called a boy and you feel like you're a girl, you can identify as a girl, and that's okay as well. And as well as being non-binary, which is when maybe you feel a little bit like both or you feel like neither. There's no perfect way to describe how you feel as long as you are yourself. Another great part of this book is that there are some helpful terms to know. So then it's got what we call a glossary, and it describes gender identity, gender expression, cisgender, transgender. So that's a really amazing page. There's also a note about pronouns. So he, him, she, her, they, them, however you identify as, you can let people know what your preferred pronouns are. There's some really great resources here, other books for people to read, websites to visit. There's resources for parents who might have children that are identifying as transgender and maybe you don't know how to handle it, so there are some great resources out there for you. There's an author's note and an illustrator note here. They both have very personal ties to the transgender world. The author's daughter, it says, was 5 when she told her that she wasn't the gender she had assumed at birth. And then the illustrator's note says that I was 14 when I came out as trans, and I'm lucky to have had parents who listened and stood up for me when others failed to. So both of them had very personal ties, which is why they wrote this very personal, very beautiful book. I love the illustrations. Some of these characters, that is an amazing book character. She's beautiful. I've seen some characters in here that had tattoos. Some of them had different colored hair. So here we've got a character with some tattoos and, you know, a daddy carrying his baby. We've got this same beautiful character I just pointed out. She's lovely. I really love that we've got interracial families in here. So it really feels like there's a lot of representation in this book, which I absolutely adore. You know, we've got colored hair, some people with a physical disability. It just really is all encompassing, and I absolutely love that, because we should be living lives where we include people of all gender identity, all color, all ableism, all of that. You know, we should just love ourselves and love each other, and that's the title of this book. It feels good to be yourself. I absolutely love it. If you have any questions, please let me know. I would love to answer them. I am here for you. I love you. I see you. I hear you, and I accept you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this book. Mwah! I love you all. Until next time.